Judy and Paulina. Today we will talk about the king's move. This is definitely a controversial matter. For some a very effective arm wrestling technique, for others an absolutely unacceptable defensive position which allows to pin your opponent almost only by risking his injury. We are not going to make an assessment here, but we will talk about how the IFA and PAL rules apply to king's move. But let's start with what we usually mean by the king's move. When we think about the king's move, we usually see the image of a puller practically sitting under the table, most often with a straight arm and with the shoulder way below the elbow pad level. And this is clearly an illegal position. It's not a subject of discussion. But some of you also think that a puller in a defensive position, with his arm in a wide angle, but with his shoulder still above the elbow pad, is also doing the king's move. And you are wrong here. This is a legal position. What else is allowed according to the rules? When a puller's shoulder goes below the elbow pad level, but his hand is still on his winning side of the table, this is absolutely allowed. The position of the hand is crucial here. Okay, but let's describe what is not allowed according to the rules. Firstly, when a competitor's hand crosses the center line of the table to his losing side and goes with his shoulder below the elbow pad, this is already illegal. What else? When a competitor straightens the arm during the match, regardless of the position of the hand, the referee will stop the match and give a foul immediately. Pulling with a straight arm is not allowed. But let's talk in detail about the rules which apply to these two illegal positions. We will demonstrate the king's move regulation with the help of our colleagues from the Spartan Warszawa Club, Mariusz and Grzegorz. Welcome, come to the table please. Regarding the IFA and PAL rules about the king's move, we are actually talking about two rules. The first will be in dangerous position section, but this rule has been written down in a more detailed way and requires a more restrictive approach from the referees. But which position is a dangerous one? A dangerous position is when the competitor's shoulder goes below the elbow pad and his hand is on his losing side of the table. This means after crossing the center of the table. In this case, the referee will warn the competitor to raise the shoulder with the command shoulder. The competitor has 2 seconds to correct his position. If he doesn't or corrects his position, but then he drops back below the elbow pad level, the referee will immediately stop the match and give the puller a foul. There will be no further cautions or waiting another 2 seconds to correct the position. The competitor has made the offense again and is immediately penalized by a foul. The second rule we would like to talk about is a new rule in the IFA and PAL rules about pulling with a straight arm. Here, regardless of the position of the puller's hand, if during the match the competitor straightened his arm, the referee will immediately stop the match and give him a foul. Pulling with the outstretched arm is treated as non-arm wrestling move because it's hard to talk about arm wrestling when the puller's arm is straight. To sum up, the IFA and PAL rules tightened the approach to the king's move and clearly define how the referees should behave in such a situation. And here the referees, it depends mainly on you whether we can eliminate this ugly technique and whether the competitor will stop using it. Just to remind, the referee should caution a competitor whose shoulder is below the pad only once and give the puller only 2 seconds to correct his position. This will help to avoid the frequent situation where the competitor goes below the elbow pad with his shoulder many times in one match before the referee stops it. Another important issue will be whether the athlete has really gone down below the elbow pad level with his shoulder and whether his position is an illegal one. Perhaps his hand is still in his winning zone or his shoulder hasn't crossed the elbow pad level, because then it's perfectly allowed. But on the other hand, if a player is in an illegal position with his shoulder below the elbow pad and his hand is not only on the losing side of the table but also in a losing position, then remember not to give a foul. This is a foul in a losing position, and like any other foul in a losing position, it means a loss and end of the match. Therefore, this is an appeal to you, dear referees, because the changes in the rules mainly concerns you. We hope that the video will help you understand the changes in the rules and how to apply them properly. And there will be no doubts in the future at competitions. Thanks a lot for your attention. See you soon. Bye.